Begin in mountain pose, planting the feet in your mat and extending through the crown of the head, preparing to balance on one leg. Begin by lifting up the right knee. Keep the low belly engaged and your eyes set on a focal point. Stamp the left foot into the mat and extend up through the crown of the head. Slowly let the right foot come down, returning to mountain, and then lift the left knee. Keep a slight tuck of the tailbone to bring the pelvis into a neutral position. Slowly lower the left leg down and return to mountain pose. Preparing for tree pose, turn the right knee out to the side, coming onto the right toes. Slowly lift the inside of the right foot to the ankle, the shin, or lift it up above the knee to the inner thigh. You can work this with your arms down by the side of the body, or you could place your hands at the center of your chest. Finding a focal point. Keep the gaze soft and steady. Option 3 is to reach the arms up to the ceiling. Slowly let the arms float down and remove the right leg, placing it back into mountain position. Lifting up the left foot, come to the left toes. Place the inside of the foot at the ankle, the shin, or lift the foot up above the knee to the inner thigh. The arms can stay down by the side of the body. Or, if you feel steady, you could place your hands at the center of your chest. A third option is to reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Continue to stare at your focal point and allow the breath to flow freely and deeply. Slowly float the arms back down and return to mountain position. Preparing for balancing half moon using the wall and a stack of blocks. Place 2 blocks against the wall and stand with your right foot forward and your left foot back. The right hip will be against the wall. Come into a high lunge position with the front knee slightly bent. Walking our hands down the leg, place both hands on the blocks. Find a focal point out in front of you and slowly lift the left leg, rolling the body into the wall. The left hand can stay on your hip, or you could reach the left arm up to the ceiling. Using the support of the wall, stabilize and strengthen the standing leg and feel the hips and the chest stretching and opening. Bring the left hand back to your hip and slowly transition out of the posture, keeping the right knee bent. Walk the hands back up the leg and return to mountain. Switching sides. Stand with your left hip against the wall, your left foot forward about 4 inches behind your stack of blocks. Starting in a high lunge, lengthen up. Walk the hands down the front leg, placing both hands on the block. Shifting your weight forward, lift up the back leg and roll the body into the wall, reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling. Working on having the left leg be in line with the hip. Feel the body stretching and opening. Carefully transition out, bringing your left hand back to your hip, bending the front leg, walking the hands slowly up the leg, and returning to mountain. Now preparing to do balancing half moon away from the wall. Place 2 blocks at the top of your mat side by side. Place the right foot forward and step back with the left foot. Begin to walk the hands down the right leg, placing both hands on a block. Gazing at a spot out in front of you, shift your weight forward and lift up the left leg. You can stay here working on strengthening the core of the body, or you could slowly start to bring the left hand to your hip and begin to roll the left shoulder and the left hip back. The final step is to reach the arm up towards the ceiling. You can continue to stare at your focal point on the ground as you strengthen and stabilize the body. Carefully transition out using a bent knee and a flat back to rise up. And now switching sides, step the left foot forward and step back with the right foot. Square the hips and square the shoulders. Walking the hands down the front leg, placing both hands on the blocks. Shifting the weight forward as you lift up the right leg, staring at a focal point on the ground out in front of you. Slowly take the right hand to your low back and begin to roll the right hip and the right shoulder back. The final step is to reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Holding and breathing here in balancing half moon. Bring that right hand back to your hip as you carefully work your way out of the position. Walking the hands back up the leg and finding your way back into mountain position. Preparing for Warrior 3. Stepping back with the left foot, take a slight bend in the right knee and lift the left heel off the mat. Walk the hands down the leg, find a focal point in the ground out in front of you. Draw the belly in as you shift the weight forward, lifting up the left leg. Your hands can stay on the right thigh, or you could slowly bring your hands to the center of your chest as you balance and breathe in Warrior 3. Switching sides. Taking the left foot forward and stepping back with the right foot. Bend the left knee, square the hips and shoulders, lengthening up, and slowly walk the hands down the front thigh. Find your focal point out in front of you, slowly shift the weight forward, and lift up the right leg. You can keep your hands on your front thigh or place your hands at the center of your chest. Working on getting the right leg to be in line with the right hip. Carefully lower the back leg, walk the hands back up the leg, and step forward, returning to mountain position.